Today we're going to be taking a look at the campfire tongs that Nesmith writes about in Woodcraft and Camping. This is a rather interesting camp tool. I don't know if it's exactly necessary or essential. I think a lot of people these days carry leather gloves with them, and those leather gloves will serve about the same function as the fire tongs, but it is still a nice tool to have around the camp, and even with leather gloves you might find it to be a good addition to managing your campfire. Nesmith writes that the fire tongs should be made from a strong species of wood. He writes hickory or beech, but I don't have either of those species in this area, so I'm using birch, which is going to work just fine. You just want something that's got some good fiber strength to it. Another good choice in this area would be willow. And what we're going to do to begin, just knocking off any of these little knots or anything that are going to get in the way. The first step is to thin down the middle section of this stick. It should be noted that this is a green stick. You want to use green or living wood. That way it's got moisture in it and the fibers are still very flexible. So I've gone down about halfway, maybe a little bit past halfway. I like to go a little bit further. I just find it makes it easier to actually bend the piece of wood. So now what we're going to do is put this over our fire and do a good hot part of it. Bring this centerpiece of our fire tongs up to a hot temperature, which will help it to get more flexible, and then we'll begin to bend it into the fire tong shape. So I want to point out and make clear that this doesn't have to be perfect. You can see I've got 2 breaks here, some buckling, but this is still a functional campfire tool. We could have taken a lot more time and thinned this out perfectly and gotten it nice and precise and consistent throughout the entirety of this thin section. We could have heated it up a lot slower and worked it as we heated it up to try and get a nice U-shaped bend, but this is every bit as functional as something that would have taken a lot longer to make. That's all this is meant to be, a quick and easy campfire tool that serves its function of being able to grab things in and around the fire. To finish this off, we're going to flatten the inside edges here so that they line up nicely with each other, and we can chamfer the outsides a bit, thin them down, and that is going to be our completed tongs. There we go. We have the completed fire tongs. Just flattened the inside faces here so that they line up nicely, and then just tapered the outsides, cleaned up the edges a bit, and now we have a nice set of tongs. Took about 10 minutes to make, and now we can grab whatever we need in the fire pit. So these are especially handy for grabbing coals, moving them around, restacking smaller pieces of wood. This is a really great way to manage your campfire without any risk of burning yourself. It's also quite handy if you're cooking and you drop a piece of food or whatever into the campfire. You can reach in and grab it very easily. And again, very simple to make. They don't have to be perfect, I debated on going through the process of thinning this out really consistently and slowly heating it up and working it into a nice U shape, but I figured that most people, if they try this, are going to end up with this kind of a result. So if you end up with this result, don't think you did something wrong. These are meant to be quick and easy to make. They're not works of art. They're meant to be a functional tool around the campfire, and they are quite nice to have. They work great, and they make working around the campfire a lot safer without any risk of burning yourself. So those are the campfire tongs. Quick and easy to make, but very effective and nice to have around the campfire. Certainly makes it easier to manage smaller pieces of wood, moving them around, moving embers around. All in all, a nice little addition to the camp kit. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I want to thank you for watching, and I will be back soon with the next one.